Hello, happy Tuesday. Gina here with your July 15th weekly market update. The markets are holding strong and remaining near record highs. So, because of that, I figured I'd take a moment today to talk briefly about the one big beautiful bill that was signed into law on July 4th. The bill has certainly sparked a lot of discussion about what the implications will be for the economy, for the budget, for our federal resources. And we have received a handful of questions from all of you and what its impact will be, and then what's really in it. So I will do my best to put political sentiment aside and really just try to simply relay the high-level facts for those of you who are not fully up to speed on what's in that bill. That being said, we obviously won't fully know the true impacts for years to come, but there are various projections and analysis being completed and released. But for now, there are really differing estimates on its impact to the deficit and the individual taxpayer. And I wouldn't dare try to project what you as an individual taxpayer could expect and what the impact would be to you yet. We just don't know. But the key provisions are pretty clear, and I'll cover that high level. Number one, and most notably, is the tax cuts. It seeks to make permanent those tax cuts that were established in 2017 with the Jobs Act, and those cuts were set to expire and sunset at the end of this year. So that's a pretty big deal. There's Medicaid changes. The legislation really proposes much stricter eligibility and work requirements, and this is actually a pretty significant shift. Also, there are some major spending provisions, some really large increases in spending for border security, defense, and energy production. These increases are to be offset by the aforementioned cuts to healthcare and some additional healthcare related programs. Also, there is the state and local tax deduction. That cap is being raised from 10,000 to 40,000. So a pretty big deal for those of you who are in high state tax locations. That could be meaningful there. And then there was also a lot of impacts to social programs that I'm not going to dive into today. So bottom line with all of this is the impact and intent is for it to raise GDP. The flip side and potential downside would be a larger deficit and budget concerns, but all of this really is yet to be determined, and it will just take time to fully transpire and see the impacts and effects of all of it. So I know that was pretty high level, but if you have any more specific questions or concerns that you'd like to discuss, feel free to reach out and give us a call. Otherwise, we will talk to you next week.